A lot of people would probably say that found footage is the best subgenre of horror, while other people would probably say no, it's the psychological horrors, and some people might say no, it's the slashers. But who is to say who's wrong? Probably everyone, because it's so subjective. But today we are going to present to you our top 10 recommended found footage horror movies.
And I'm excited because this is my favorite, one of my favorite subjects or genre.
So subtext?
So I said subject.
Subject? Subject?
Subject.
This is your favorite subject
well,
from school?
That's why I corrected myself in the genre.
The wrong direction has you.
The road was so slow.
Why are we even discussing this? When we did this list, we see that there are probably like 700-800 plus movies that are like in the found footage category. So it's extremely difficult to know which is good and which are bad, because I'm gonna be honest, probably most of them are pretty damn bad. So I would say these recommendations that we have today will make picking the next horror movie a lot easier. As always, we're gonna present 10 movies total, and we have picked 5 each. And the funny thing is that we always pick 5 each without knowing what the other person has picked. So that's how we have fun in these videos, because we never know what's gonna happen. But hopefully we have 10 different movies though. But I'm gonna say you go first today.
So for my number 1 is from 2011, called Apartment 143. This movie is about paranormal investigators, and they go into an apartment and they use the latest technologies to disprove a supposedly haunted apartment. And then the team is left terrified when they come across an evil spirit that attacks them. So the director of this movie is Carl Torrens. He is known for his shorts, but has also directed Pet, ABCs of Death, and a more recent horror movie called Apocalypse Z, The Beginning of the End. The writer is Rodrigo Cortez, who also wrote a ton of shorts and many other movies I know nothing about besides Down a Dark Hall, which is also a really good movie. If you have not seen that one, you should.
But okay, so is this I haven't seen this before, so what makes this a good recommendation? Because the plot is very like similar to
this. I mean, it's
movies.
hard. So I'm not going to try to sell this movie to you guys. If you are not a fan of found footage movies,
then why the fuck are they watching this video?
They're watching it because we're recommending it, but I can't sell it to you. I'm not gonna try to like lie. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, it's slow.
Is it a bad movie?
No, it's good for people like me. If you were a lot like me, where you like, if you guys did watch like one of the movies that we recommended, like Warsash, it's similar, not similar to that, but it's slow like that. A lot of found footages are pretty slow. Yeah. So it's a slow build up, and there's a little drama, and you know there's drama in there. It gets a little messy. But if you are into that type of movie, then you'll like this one. It's supernatural, of course.
Of course, you recommend it, so it's supernatural. Oh. I haven't watched it, but I promise I will.
This movie's hard to sell because it's so
boring.
No, like it's plain for people who like the big jumpy stuff, found footages, and like
you have to have confidence in yourself, babe.
I
You have no confidence.
Yeah, okay.
So for my first pick as a really recommended found footage horror, that is Paranormal Activity Tokyo Nights. It's an easily overlooked movie in the franchise. Paranormal Activity Tokyo Nights, released in 2010, follows Koichi and his sister Haruka as they start experimenting paranormal events happening in their home after Haruka's return home from America, where she was involved in a car accident that broke both her legs. This is directed and written by Toshikazu Nagai. The movie stands out as one of the best in the series, though nowadays that doesn't really say much, because the series went down the poop hole after the third one.
Yeah.
But this was before the third one,
Yeah.
So it was still in the good era. But I'm gonna say it's so overlooked. And like, I had never heard of this when I just discovered it by accident.
Yeah.
Many years later. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but this is a sidequel. So it doesn't like, it's not a sequel, but it is connected to the first Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
In some way that you have to just find out yourself. But it's a standard Paranormal Activity movie, but the creepiness of the house and the sister with the legs, and there's the first time I watched this, holy freaking Christ, did I get claustrophobia from that apartment
You
or
said
house.
you were creeped out.
Extremely creeped out. Overlooked. A true hidden gem. Recommended. One of the best in the
Tokyo Nights, remember that?
Yes,
Okay.
one of the best in the PA series.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I agree. So for my second one, and this is for all you Asian horror found footage movie lovers, is the 2018 Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. So this movie follows a crew of horror web series travelers, whatever. They go to an abandoned asylum for a live broadcast. It soon encounters much more than expected as it moves deeper inside the nightmarish old building. Now this movie was directed by, I don't know how to say his name, so forgive me if I butcher this, but it's Jung Bum Shik. He directed several movies, but nothing I've personally seen. Unsure if I've seen Horror Stories 1 and 2. I might have. I can't remember, but he did direct those. And he also wrote this movie as well, along with Sang Min Park, who is mainly known for Gonjiam, but seems he hasn't written much.
I'm gonna say every horror movie that involves an asylum, I'm immediately sold. I love that.
You think so?
Because there's something extremely creepy about asylums, and something like extremely fascinating, because we know, like, especially in during like the history of asylums, there's a lot of creepy weird stuff happening in those places. So I love those. But how so let's say Grave Encounters is a similar movie with an asylum.
I would say if you like Grave Encounters, you would really like this one.
Yes, it's this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but this one, I feel like it's a little creepier, a little darker. Asian movies are known to be more eerie and darker, though, and there is
a lot of American remakes are.
I know, we won't talk about it.
No.
But no, there is one
Jessica
specific
Alba
scene.
in the eye. Ow! You hate that one.
I know, but still. But no, in this movie, there is one specific scene that scared a lot of people who also love this movie. So I am curious if you guys do end up watching it, to let me know down below if there was a scene that scared you, and if it matches up, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up.
So my second pick is a movie where we don't have to travel too far because it's Troll Hunter.
Oh my lanty.
Troll Hunter is a Norwegian found footage movie released in 2010 following a group of students investigating a series of bear killings in the area, but soon find out there is something completely different going on. The movie takes inspiration from Norwegian folklore about trolls, and as a result it comes off as a fresh take on the found footage genre. The movie is both directed and written by André Øvredal, who also directed The Autopsy of Jane Doe, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and Dracula, The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Wow.
Yes, impressive, man.
Ooh.
Because those are movies, all of those movies, I'd say, I would say extremely good. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, good. Autopsy of Jane Doe, extremely good. The Demeter, pretty good. So this is, as I said, like a Norwegian found footage. I would say it doesn't really come off as a horror comedy, but in some sense it is, especially for us Norwegians. we understand a lot more of the humor because of maybe the choice of actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it has some comedic elements to it. But at the end of the day, it's just extremely fun to see a different type of monster on the screen, which makes this movie, I would say, a bit unique.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because when I first saw this movie, I didn't even know it was Norwegian.
That is crazy. Because that was after we met.
No, it was before we met.
What?
Yeah.
Cheater?
But I did really like the movie. I liked it a lot. That after we met, I told you.
Yeah.
that
So you like, as an American,
Yeah.
you liked this Norwegian spoken movie. So
Yeah.
which means that don't get scared because they don't speak Norwegian. Just read the subtitles. Easy.
I would say this is more towards those who like the fantasy fairy tale horror type of found footages. This is nothing to do with supernatural, demon, or nothing like that.
No.
So just keep that in mind when you hear this movie.
It just has trolls.
Yeah, just trolls. But the
Yes.
trolls do look really cool though.
There's
so,
a lot of different trolls.
yeah.
Yeah.
And at least you get to see them for the most part.
Yeah.
Because you know a lot of
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
you don't
You
like
see them a lot.
Cloverfield monsters.
Uh,
You hardly see them, but trolls you do. So for my third one, it's the 2011 Seven Nights of Darkness. On April 30, 2010, 6 reality television show contestants spend 7 nights in an abandoned and haunted asylum. Now, the director and writer of this movie is Alan Kellogg. No, not the cereal, people. But
Oh my
he seems
lord.
to also have directed, if you've ever seen it, Devil's Toy Box, which I have not seen, surprisingly. But it seems he also acts in his movies as well, and I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he was in the movies.
I have only heard of 30 Days of Night. So once again, you had me at Asylum.
Yeah, it's this one. So this one is funny. Funny enough, I only watched it like not too long ago. But you weren't really into. I didn't know if you would be really into found footage, so I did watch it.
Oh.
But this, I found it to be really creepy, and it kind of reminded me the style of 100 and Ghost Street, the Haunting of Retrospect. If you guys did watch that or have seen that, it reminded me of that, but it's different because for 7 nights that they're there, they have to do they have to basically open up envelopes, and it tells them what they need to do for that night in order
So it's a
to
game show or something.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
And if they survive 7 nights, and they win $1 million. I don't really recall a lot of jump scares, but this movie is pretty creepy and eerie, and it does kind of put you on the edge of your seat and question a lot of things. So it's good. It's not too slow paced. So I'd say
Nice.
it's mid if you like those type of found footages.
So you found a mid movie.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, that is better than most of them. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, good choice.
Thank you. Now your turn.
Yes. So for my third pick that I would recommend, I would have to say Creep 2. Creep 2 was released in 2017. It's a sequel to Creep, and this movie follows Sarah, a video artist, going to a remote house in the forest to meet a man claiming to be a serial killer. Risking everything for the perfect piece of art, she's about to realize she put herself in a situation she might not be able to escape. This is written and directed by Patrick Bryce, as well as co-written by Mark Duplass, who himself plays the role of Aaron in both Creep and Creep 2. The couple have truly created a character that will stick with you for a long, long time. So, it is funny though that I chose Creep 2 instead of Creep 1. But Creep 2 is actually better than Creep 1, even though like you should see the first one to understand the full context of the second one. But I will say Mark Duplass, I'm gonna guess that's how you pronounce his name. He makes a very memorable horror character.
Yeah.
Because he is truly creepy in the sense of you don't know what's gonna happen at any point. And also the actress that plays Sarah, like the character of Sarah is very interesting because this is a sequel, so you would expect, okay, this has to have some turns or be different than the first one. So you're kind of like, you expect some plots, twists, or stuff to happen that may or may not happen, and it keeps like on the edge the whole way. And I would say it has a somewhat satisfying ending. So overall, very creepy, found footage, but also watch the first one.
And this is horror/thriller.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not supernatural in any way.
It's like, I'd say it's more like I wouldn't say stalkish, because he does stalk them at the end. It's more... Oops. Now my turn. So for my fourth one, second to last, is from 2015, called Nightlight. This follows 5 friends who play a game in a mysterious forest with a long history as a beacon for troubled young people contemplating suicide. The director and writers for this is Scott Beck and Brian Woods. They are both well known for having and directed and written Heretic, of course Nightlight, Hunt, and directed 2023 The Boogeyman, as well as A Quiet Place 2 and A Quiet Place Day 1. I was so shocked! I didn't even know this myself.
That's a mixed bag.
Yeah, and we both liked Heretic.
Heretic, extremely good.
Yes.
Quiet Day, Day 1.
Day 1.
Quiet Place, Day 1, extremely good.
Yes.
Boogeyman,
The 2023,
not the best.
not the
And
greatest.
Quiet Place Part 2, also not the best. So a mixed bag,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, ooh.
Ooh. It did that to me too, so I was
But
pretty,
what
pretty
did you
shocked.
say about the suicide?
So they go into a forest where people are known to take.
Is this the
commit
forest in
suicide.
Japan?
No.
What?
No, it's another.
Are there more
forest.
forests?
I'm guessing.
There's
so.
one forest that is like in real life is
Yeah,
known
no.
to have a lot of
So the reason why I recommended this movie is not for everyone, okay? Because if you really hate teenagers, you probably really hate this one. But I like the concept of the movie. The concept of the movie was really fascinating for me because not only did it mention them going into a forest to where people are well known to commit suicide, it's the game that they play there with the flashlights, and that's why it's called Nightlight. Because they go in there and they play like a game like hide and seek, but they use the flashlights to basically signal. And it's creepy. If you actually think about it, imagine going to a forest and playing that type of game to friends.
But so why did you say that people that hate teenagers are
Because
these
of the way-
unlikable?
The characters are not really likable, no.
Okay.
Especially
want them
the girls who are complete bullies. It's good, and I think it's worth checking out at least once. Okay?
Yeah. No, I'm intrigued again.
Woohoo! Okay, now your turn. What's yours?
So, my fourth pick is a fan footage movie that you don't see coming.
Oh.
And that is Deadstream. Released in 2022, Deadstream follows a disgraced YouTuber or internet personality as he attempts to win back his followers by live streaming a night in a haunted house. Doing so, he unknowingly also awakens a vengeful spirit who makes his night in the haunted house a lot more serious than he had planned. This movie is directed and written by Joseph and Vanessa Winter. This horror comedy stars Joseph Winter, who you might know from the masterpiece To Hell and Back, which is a segment in VHS 99. Do you like hearing an annoying man-child making Jim Carrey's Dumb and Dumber most annoying sound in the world for 1 hour and 27 minutes? This is the movie for you. Would you like to see a crazy demon girl say boo to a man's balls? Then this is the movie for you.
I like that part.
Yeah, so we watched this movie. We didn't know it was a horror comedy. It is a horror comedy. And it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So why do I recommend it?
Yes, why?
Because you fucking had to see it to believe it. It is that bad. It is one of the... It was agonizing to watch this. Because, first of all, He screams. His name in the movie is Sean. He screams all the time, and his scream is like fucking nails on a chalkboard. But yeah, I do recommend watching this because, as I said, wow, and
That's all he has to say.
the only
And if you guys do watch it, I'm curious to your thoughts on this one too. Put it down below. Let me know, because if you agree that it's bad, high five. If you like it and think it's awesome, I'm gonna question you.
yes. Yeah. The only time I remember you chuckled a bit was when the girl said "boo" to the balls. Yeah. Just that sentence alone should make you interested in this movie. But yeah, Deadstream, check it out. And don't come back to us complaining.
So for my last and final pick is the 2013 Delivery, The Beast Within. This movie is about a young couple documenting their first pregnancy for a new TV show, discovered that a malevolent entity has taken control of their unborn child. This movie was directed and written by Brian Netto, who hasn't done too many, but he did direct a movie we both are familiar with and watched several days ago called Don't Move. And the writer is Adam Schindler, sorry if I butchered that as well, who also directed Don't Move, but are known for another few others that we are unaware of. So he didn't direct many, so yeah. What's with that look?
Don't Move was not the best.
No.
But okay, so this was once again a game show?
No,
or like a TV show?
Yeah, so this couple agrees to film their first pregnancy. And the reason why I thought that maybe you might have seen it or heard of it is because a lot of people actually say that this reminds them of Rosemary's Baby with a little bit of paranormal activity.
That's also a sales pitch.
Yeah. I haven't seen this movie for a very long time, but I do remember that the ending twist was fudged up. And that's all I gotta say. But it was crazy. But yeah, and a lot of people agree with me too that the ending was a crazy twist, and they had to rewatch it just to make sure that they saw what they saw.
So is a twist kind of like it changes your whole perspective of the movie and you have to watch it again, or
no, just where you have to watch the ending again to make sure it did happen. But
well, that's how you sell a movie, babe. That makes me interested.
Yeah. But it's a slow build up though. It is another slow build up, and it eventually gets to that point. So if you're okay with it being slow at first, then you can watch this movie.
So yeah, I have one final one.
Yes, he does.
My final movie is a movie that doesn't come as a surprise to you, because that is House LLC. So, Hell House follows a documentary crew as they travel back to the scene of a tragedy that caused the death of 15 tourgoers 5 years earlier on the opening night of a Halloween haunted house tour. Featuring one of the creepiest clown dolls to date, this movie is one of the scariest found footage movies that you don't want to miss. Written and directed by Stephen Cognetti, who also directed the other 3 Hell House sequels. And yes, there are 4 movies in this franchise, and another one coming in 2025. Probably.
Yeah.
This also was a movie that came like out of nowhere from me. Because I'm gonna guess everyone knows the struggle of being a horror fanatic. That is the struggle of finding new horror movies to watch. This one randomly just put on, and holy damn, it surprised me.
Yeah.
This is a pretty damn good fan footage horror movie.
Now, wouldn't you say it's a franchise by now? Because it has...
Now it's a franchise, absolutely. But how this is a franchise, that I don't know. Because yes, good movie, but how the fuck is it 5 movies now?
To me, I feel like it eventually is going to come to a standstill because it is...
Happened.
Yeah, but you said probably there's going to be another one.
Yeah, but the others are not as good.
Well...
Oh, you like them.
I thought they were okay.
Yeah. But you know which clown doll I'm talking about, though.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
You're
it's-
talking about the one that moves everywhere, basically, because the rest of them don't. Sorry.
Oh my lord, Ben! But
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that doll, fucking hell,
Yeah.
is creepy. But yeah, I'm gonna say acting-wise, it's mid. Plot-wise, it's nothing out of the ordinary. But it's a well-made found footage horror movie, and it has a lot of creepy scenes. The only thing that confuses me a lot is, what the fuck does LLC stand for?
So to me, the very first one is the creepiest
And the best.
and the best, yes. Because there are several scenes in there, especially one that had me having nightmares for nights. And I couldn't do it. It was so scary that it terrified me for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. The other ones are creepy, but not as good as the first one. No.
Yeah, no, very highly recommended.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was my last pick. So we had 10 total now, and we had 10 different movies, which is good for this video.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the movies that we can recommend for this
Yes.
time. As we said, there's a lot of found footage horror movies out there, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very difficult to find good ones because you get tired of giving movies a chance. At some point, you just want to have a guaranteed good viewing. But yeah, that's all I had to say for today.
Yeah, me too. Go and watch them, especially my list, please.
And if you have time, watch mine as well.
Yeah, and let us know in the comment section below because we really want to know what you think. And if you have any other suggestions or favorites of yours that are found footage too, let us know. Like, list them down below, and I'll check them out, and I will let you know if I've seen them all or have not seen them all, and I will definitely check them out. Make sure to subscribe and like this, and slash like Ducky.
Wow, I thought you were gonna do something completely different now.
Did you?
Yeah, but that's all I had to say for today. So until next time, then we are gonna be back with something
Completely different.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye.